The general impression of public toilets is that they are dirty and messy. But in Germany, there is a man who has taken a fancy to these public toilets and is earning up to 30 million euros a year from running them. How exactly did he do it? In 1990, Berlin, Germany, an interesting auction was held, not for a physical object, but for the right to run Berlin's public toilets. There were not many competitors at the time, and many companies were not interested in the public toilet market, bearing in mind that in Germany, there are mandatory rules for the operation of public toilets. In busy areas, there should be a public toilet every 500 meters, and one for every 1,000 meters on normal roads. The rest of the city has to have 2 to 3 public toilets per square kilometer. With such a high density, the maintenance alone costs a lot of money, even for a paid public toilet. No one wants to do a deal that loses money, of course, but Hans was different from the average person. He saw this opportunity, and although their company had never been in the public toilet business before, he made a promise to the government.
Give me the license. I'm willing to take it, and I promise to provide the usage of toilet for free to the public.
With that, Hans took the rights to run Berlin's public toilets and started building them on a grand scale. This was a hot topic at the time, and people privately helped Hans to calculate that, at a loss of 0.5 euros per person per visit, the move to provide free toilets would cost him €1 million a year for Berlin alone. 2 words, a dead end. Countless people began to wait to see what a joke Hans would be, to see how he would send himself to hell step by step and then go bankrupt. He wasn't stupid. How did he manage to turn a money-losing business into a profitable one? 20 years on, and not only is he not broke, but he is making 88 million a year, breaking what others see as a dead end. Those who laughed at Hans in the first place found out that they were the ones who were the most foolish and short-sighted. So, how did he manage to build tens of thousands of public toilets and open them to the public for free and turn a money-losing deal into a profit? It turns out that Hans, from the very beginning, never wanted to make money from the public, so he didn't take any pennies. What he earned was the advertising fees, inside and outside the toilets. Now the new question is, what makes his toilets so successful? The average person would certainly be looking for advertisers hastily and rushing all over the place to advertise. Hans, on the other hand, focused on the toilets themselves, looking for famous designers to design the most important part first, the creativity. Hans hired professional designers from Japan and Italy to build public toilets large to small. First in Berlin, according to the requirements of the lot, ensuring that each one is different, fun, and forced. The male public toilets, in particular, incorporate elements such as anime and models to prolong the public's stay in the toilets. And he is doing everything he can to make his toilets more popular. This pie-in-the-sky style actually has something to do with Hans' upbringing. He was born in southern Germany and grew up on a farm. He dropped out of school in the 9th grade in style and willfully went out to see the world, working as a trainee mechanical repairman and going around the world before returning to school to finish his studies. However, this did not deter him at all from this crazy brainstorming. As well as working on the appearance of the toilets, he also added additional features to them. Installation of public phones, games, reading books, free Wi-Fi, free meal vouchers, etc. This series of measures added significantly to the costs, and the fact that Hans would never allow corners to be cut, at one point put the company in crisis and even on the verge of bankruptcy. In the eyes of others, this may have been the end of Han, but the high-quality public toilets soon became popular and the crowds grew, even to the point of attracting a large number of tourists, which was Hans' aim from the start. As the popularity of the toilets continued to soar, brands began to notice the advertising space outside the toilets, and they approached Hans' company to collaborate on renting advertising space outside the toilets. This approach succeeded in gaining the favor of the brands in the busy area. In no time at all, Hans' public toilets have gone from being unknown to being highly demanded, and many of the toilets that have not yet been built have already been booked in advance. The company's advertising business grew bigger and bigger, even attracting major brands such as Apple and Chanel to work with. Soon, advertisements were printed on the interior walls of public toilets, furnishings, and even paper towels. At the same time, he often did some public charity campaigns, which also gave the company a very good branding effect. All the advertisements are carefully selected in order to avoid people becoming disgusted with them. Imagine placing a McDonald's ads while you are shitting. But that's kind of a good idea. After you shit, visit McDonald's and fill up your stomach again. In 2009, Hans, a company with a market capitalization of several hundred million euros, was integrated into Autonavi Software Company. The business has also grown rapidly, with a global reach of more than 60 cities in Germany and 40 cities in Turkey.
No profession is too noble or too small, even if it's just serving the toilets. If you put your heart and soul into it, it can be done. In this world, there are no dead ends. All that is missing is creativity.